the 49ers locking in on Mac Jones or Trey Lance with the number 3 overall pick in the 2021 NFL Draft? Let's talk about it. What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL. Here to talk about the NFL Draft. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe, guys. I do bring the latest and greatest with the NFL. You don't want to miss out. Hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video, and make sure you're following me on all my social media platforms. All right, let's get into it. All right, so we've got pretty big breaking news here. Ian Rappaport is reporting that the 49ers are pretty much honing in on either Mac Jones or Trey Lance as their pick with the number 3 overall selection in this year's NFL Draft. Okay, so got a lot to say about this. Let's get started here, all right? First and foremost, the Mac Jones versus Justin Fields talk for the 49ers at number 3 kept, felt like switching up every single day, right? One day it would be Mac Jones is going, and then it's Justin Fields, and the 49ers are going to take Mac Jones, and they'll take Justin Fields. And then now you're saying Trey Lance is in the discussion when he wasn't part of the discussion before. That part's really interesting to me. So we've just literally taken Justin Fields and tossed him aside and brought in Trey Lance, who most people, including myself, were expecting to go, bottom of the top 10, probably, to the Broncos or at 8, 9, etc. And that very well could still happen. But according to this report, he could go 3. He could go number 3. There's no mock draft I've seen that has Trey Lance going number 3. So that part is very interesting to me. But let's talk about this for the 49ers, all right? Do I believe this? Do I not? I believe the San Francisco 49ers are, and specifically when I'm talking about the 49ers, I'm talking about Kyle Shanahan, their head coach. I believe they're looking for a quarterback that they can win now with, all right? And for whatever reason, I feel like they think Mac Jones could be the guy that is a better fit for their system in terms of winning now. And you might be thinking, Faiz, of course they want a guy that can win now. It's a number 3 overall pick. You're expected to come in and play. Well, true, I get that. But when I say win now, I not only mean, be able to be successful now, but also pick up the system, right? Kyle Shanahan has a very specific system. He needs the quarterback, whoever he drafts, to come in and have no issues picking up the system from day one and get going. Now, it's funny, I say that, but the 49ers still have Jimmy Garoppolo on the roster. So does that mean Jimmy G is getting traded before the season starts? Could be. Because if you have the number 3 overall pick, I'm just not sure if you're going to sit him. All right? I'm just not sure about that. Mac Jones, Trey Lance. All right, let's talk about these two guys. Look, Mac Jones, we know he played with an absolutely loaded team. And so for me, when you go to the NFL, you're not going to have that. All right. Now, the 49ers, if they do draft Mac Jones, obviously they are a talented team, just a couple years removed from the Super Bowl. I do think that's one of the best situations for Mac Jones. But if you had put Mac Jones, like you told me, he's getting drafted to a dumpster fire of a team, and I think he would have totally flopped. And I just don't think Mac Jones' potential is high, right? But since he's going to a team, if he goes to a team like the 49ers, I think that he could succeed. But this still feels like a situation where you basically have to hold his hand throughout, right? Like he's nothing without the system. It's kind of like the Alex Smith pre-Patrick Mahomes Chiefs Alex Smith, right? That's what it kind of feels like. Now, again, the Chiefs were very successful with the Alex Smith. They just never obviously won anything significant. So Mac Jones, that's what it feels like to me, all right? I'm not saying Mac Jones is going to be a bust. I'm just saying Mac Jones is going to need you to hold his hand throughout, all right? Trey Lance, to me, he's a project. Trey Lance, to me, needs to sit. That's why this is really surprising to me, where the 49ers would consider drafting Trey Lance, because I just don't think Trey Lance would, be ready to play from day one. I could be wrong, obviously, but it just, from what I've seen, it just doesn't seem like it would be ideal for him. Ideal situation for Trey Lance is to sit for a year. And here's the thing a lot of people don't get. A lot of quarterbacks in this league, folks, a lot of them would have succeeded had they sat a year. Patrick Mahomes sat a year. People forget that. He actually broke out in the second year. Now, again, he could have played well in his first year, but just sitting and taking in that knowledge, I'm telling you, makes a big difference. A lot of quarterbacks get thrown into the fire, and it just absolutely wrecks them. So to me, that's why I think it's so important for you to sit. So Trey Lance, to me, I just don't buy it. I just don't. I think the 49ers are taking Mac Jones here. And speaking about Justin Fields, man, and him just getting tossed to the side, I feel bad. I think Justin Fields is better than Mac Jones and Trey Lance. And the fact that he's not going to be picked at number 3 over those two guys is crazy to me. And here's a fun thing I'm going to share with you guys, all right? So it looks like the 49ers are trading up to get their guy, right? They want to get their quarterback. Cool. Do you know how many times trading up for your quarterback has worked out? Not very many times. All right, so let me just read you guys the teams that have traded up for quarterback since, like, I think, last 20 years. All right. 1998, the Chargers traded up to get Ryan Leaf with the number 2 overall pick. Obviously, we know how that worked out. 2009, Jets trade up to select Mark Sanchez. Now, they did have some success in the playoffs, but Mark Sanchez was not worthy, I believe, of a number 5 overall pick, right? He was not a great quarterback. He was okay, decent. They had some success. Cool. 2011, Jaguars trade up for Blaine Gabbert at number 10. 2012, Redskins trade up to draft RG3 at number 2. Now, RG3 was the Rookie of the Year, but he did get injured, and that was more so with injuries as far as his reason for flopping. So I guess I'll give the Redskins a break there. 2016, Rams trade up to get Jared Goff. Obviously, they made it to the Super Bowl, but Jared Goff, we know, is a guy who is, needed Sean McVay to hold his hand. And it's kind of similar to how I talked about Mac Jones. Mac Jones feels a lot like Jared Goff to me, where you need, to hold his hand. Otherwise, he's not going to be a great quarterback. And you could have that success because the Rams went to a Super Bowl with Jared Goff. So it's not like you can't have that success the 49ers can't with Mac Jones. It's just I don't think he'll be elite. Eagles, same draft, traded up for Carson Wentz. We obviously know that Carson Wentz did have success, but then obviously long-term didn't pan out. 2017, the Bears traded up, my Chicago Bears, to get Mitchell Trubisky with the number 2 overall pick, traded up one spot, and that was an epic failure. 2018, Jets trade up to get Sam Darnold. That was a flop. Now, Sam Darnold didn't get surrounded by much, but again, it is what it is. 2018 as well, the Cardinals trade up for Josh Rosen. So I've given you so many examples here of teams trading up to get quarterbacks and it not working out. All I'm trying to say here is, folks, it looks like the 49ers may be making that same mistake again by taking a Mac Jones, but I would probably have gone with Justin Fields, but it looks like they're going with Mac Jones. So to me, essentially what's going to happen here is I'm not taking the Trey Lance smoke screen. They draft Mac Jones. It's going to be similar to McVay and Goff, where, he'll look decent. He'll look, formidable with Kyle Shanahan because Kyle Shanahan's that good of a coach. But you take him away from Kyle Shanahan and he won't be able to play much. He's not going to be good. Remember Jared Goff with Jeff Fisher, right? He was an absolute mess. So let me know what you guys think about the 49ers honing in on Mac Jones or Trey Lance with the number 3 overall pick. Do you think this is a mistake? Do you not? I think it is. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.